Now, Marvel has just announced the cast for Doomsday, and that's cool and all, but I've got a burning question that I know die-hard Punisher fans are probably asking too. Why haven't Spider-Man and the Punisher crossed paths in the MCU? This isn't just some random missed opportunity. There is no reason why these two shouldn't have already interacted. Today, we're breaking down why this should have already happened, what's holding it back, and how Marvel can fix it. Before we go any further, let's make something very clear. There is no Punisher without Spider-Man. Frank Castle debuted in The Amazing Spider-Man number 129 as a hired gun sent to kill Spider-Man, believing he was a threat to the city. That moment cemented him in Marvel history. Since then, they've had an iconic relationship, sometimes as enemies, sometimes uneasy allies, but always connected. Yet here we are, with Spider-Man existing in the MCU for years now, and somehow, no Punisher. The craziest part? The Multiversal saga was the perfect way to bring Frank Castle in, and Marvel dropped the ball. Now here's why the Multiversal saga worked in the first place. Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox in March 2019. This move brought back the film rights to X-Men, Fantastic Four, and other Marvel characters, finally letting Marvel Studios integrate all of these properties into the MCU. This is why we saw Professor X in Multiverse of Madness, and that's why we're finally getting the Fantastic Four, and that's why all of these crossovers were possible. Yet, even with this massive shakeup, we still didn't get the Punisher. They had the perfect setup. We saw 3 Spider-Men in No Way Home, we saw multiversal variants of characters across the board, and yet Frank Castle didn't even get a cameo? You're telling me they could bring in Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, but they couldn't squeeze in one scene with Jon Bernthal's Punisher? Absolute missed opportunity. Now, I know some people may argue that the Netflix Marvel series were separate from the MCU, but let's put that to rest right now. Marvel Studios has officially declared the Netflix Marvel series as canon to the MCU. That means Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Defenders, and The Punisher all exist in the same universe as the MCU films and Disney Plus shows. And we've already seen this integration happen. Matt Murdock showed up in No Way Home. Kingpin was in Hawkeye, and in Daredevil Born Again, Kingpin even mentioned Spider-Man coincidentally after talking about the Punisher.
I need a gun-toting vigilante who wears a skull on his chest, or a man who dresses in a spider outfit, or a guy who wears devil horns to save us. No.
Now, was that done on purpose? And are they hinting at something here? It's obvious that Marvel isn't ignoring these characters, so why haven't they had the Punisher interact with Spider-Man? Here's the thing, the Punisher isn't some street-level nobody who only exists in his own little bubble. This man has crossed paths with Wolverine and the X-Men, the Thunderbolts, and the members of the Midnight Suns, which also includes Wolverine, Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, and hell, even Blade.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
And yet somehow Marvel acts like you can't be in a Spider-Man movie. I mean, come on, Frank Castle literally had a storyline where he killed the entire Marvel universe. You're telling me there's no place for him in the Multiversal saga? Now, the Punisher is one of Marvel's most complex and compelling anti-heroes. He's a vigilante who operates in the gray areas of morality, which makes him one of the most unique characters in Marvel history. You know who else is a human with no powers who constantly interacts with superheroes? Batman. And look how much respect Batman gets in the DC universe. He's treated as an equal among gods. Meanwhile, Marvel acts like Frank Castle doesn't belong anywhere outside of a gritty crime drama. It's ridiculous. If they really want the Punisher to get the respect he deserves, they have to let him interact with the larger Marvel universe, just like they did with Daredevil. Now look, I'm not saying every hero needs to team up with the Punisher, but Spider-Man, that's a must. There's no reason these two shouldn't have already crossed paths in the MCU, and with Jon Bernthal confirmed to be returning as Frank Castle, Marvel has one last chance to make this right. Whether it's in the next Spider-Man movie or game or even a future Punisher series, we need to see these two finally interact on screen. because if Marvel keeps ignoring this connection, they're doing a massive disservice to one of the greatest anti-heroes. And before I close this out, let's hear what Frank himself thinks about how Marvel has been treating him and his opinion on joining into future MCU projects.
This is a circus, all right? It's a charade, it's an act. It's bullshit about how crazy I am. I ain't crazy. I'm not crazy, okay? I know what I did. I know who I am. And I do not need your help. I'm smack dab in the middle of my right goddamn mind, and any scumbag, any lowlife, any maggot piece of shit that I put down, I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it. I'm sitting here, I'm just itching. I'm itching to do it again. And you think what? You think you're gonna send me to a nut house? Some doctor, they're gonna get me to stop from doing what I want to do? Well, that ain't happening. Not on my watch. You people, you call me the Punisher, ain't that right? The big bad Punisher. Here I am. You want to hear that?
Remove the witness.
I am the Punisher.
All right, interesting. So, what do you guys think? Should Spider-Man and the Punisher finally cross paths in the MCU? Or do you think that Marvel is intentionally keeping them apart? Let me know in the comments, and if you're a true Punisher fan, punish that like button and subscribe for more content. Punisher Mythos is out.